Hey everybody, it's the Nitty Professor. I'm here with the very loudly purring Gizzard, otherwise known as Gizmo, and a few dogs to answer a viewer question regarding what boots one might want to wear in the summer. So I thought I would do a video on boots for the winter versus boots for the summer. Heritage boots, that is, and this selection is totally based on my own experiences and preferences. I should start by stating that the surfaces I tend to walk on are either A, grass, or B, cement, especially in the warmer seasons, whereas in the winter they are normally A, ice or whatever's frozen, could be frozen cement, or B, snow. So I live in South Dakota. This video, hi Benny, may or may not work in New Mexico, I don't know, or Canada, but let's see what we got. So I'm going to start off with, hi Benny, the winter boots. Benny's very interested in boots. Yeah, honey, you can get down. You can get down. Good boy. Good baby. I have my Allen Edmonds Higgins Mill. And hi Benny. It's snowy, and the snow is just warm enough to where it's likely to melt. For example, if I go indoors, or it's just plain slushy, or there's salt, I do tend to wear these boots. They have suffered the consequences. You can see how the welt is starting to get a little bit on the chewed up side, and the edge dressing obviously has completely worn away, even on the heel. So these are waterproof. I have not done anything to condition these. I will at some point, but they have really survived very well, amazingly well, with utter neglect on my part. And that's one of the things I like about them. The leather just seems quite thin and unsubstantial, but when I wear them, they really wear very well. So what can I say? You know, they are lined. Let's see if I can get a bit of a light on there. There we go. They are lined. They're very soft. I wear these with medium weight wool socks. I also like these soles. I think these must be somehow winter specific. I do believe they are, I don't know if this is a proprietary Allen Edmonds sole. It says extra light on them. If you know something about these soles, I would be very interested in knowing if other boots have this sole or not. But this rubber is very soft. So in the winter, it works wonderfully because it doesn't get hard in sub-zero temperatures. And around here, sub-zero temperatures are fairly common. So this pair is a go-to pair of boots in the winter. Next up, I have a pair of, excuse me, Sparky, 1,000 Mile boots for you. And these are in a rough out leather. I want to say this is a Sea of Stead leather. I can't swear to it. They may be saddle. Honestly, I should know and I don't. And again, this is a pair of boots that I've worn a lot in the winter. Again, get a look at the edge dressing. That's from ice, snow, shards of ice, frozen clods of dirt. One thing that gives these boots a big advantage, especially when you were dealing with icy, dirty conditions, is the Vibram Commando sole. And the rough out leather, again, I haven't conditioned these. I've worn these for probably, I want to say 3 years. And, you know, I don't wear them every day in the winter. In fact, this particular winter, it was kind of a weird winter. We had very little snow, so I ended up wearing the flat-soled Trumans a lot. But these are kind of a go-to winter boot, especially if there is snow on the ground, because they are quite waterproof. There's a structured toe in here, so there is something I should probably know more about. Maybe it's some kind of a elastane toe in here, but my toes stay dry typically in these boots. It takes a lot for these boots to actually take on moisture and wick that moisture towards my foot. So these are the 1,000 Mile axle model with the Vibram Commando sole and a rough out leather. All it says on the box is gray. So, but I do really like the axles. I think I would feel very comfortable recommending to you for a winter heritage boot the Wolverine 1000 Miles in the Axle model with a rough out leather. So that's another pair that I typically wear in the winter. They've gotten a lot of use in those type of conditions. I have one more. I basically have 3 pairs of boots to talk about for winter and 3 for summer. So the third pair of winter boots is the ones that I just mentioned. Got a nice husky down here on the floor. She's a very appropriate winter dog. In fact, the other day, my son and I were watching Snow Dogs, and that was very appropriate too. He kept trying to get his dog to watch the huskies on there, and she's like, nah, I'm just going to watch myself. So I got tons and tons of use out of these Truman Dark Coyote Rough Out boots over the course of this winter in particular. Now, I've only owned them for a little bit less than a year, but again, you can tell the edge dressing really shows how much they've been appreciated this year. I do intend, I'll probably, when I get the proper materials, I'll probably do an edge dressing conditioning video just specifically for that. But you can tell the welt there, it's kind of a raised welt. I want to call this a storm welt, maybe a Norwegian welt. If I'm wrong, feel free to let me know. I mean, it's like a Goodyear welt, but this raised sort of lip here, to me, tells me it's a storm welt. Now, it's only a 270-degree welt, but I've never had a problem with, moisture getting into the heel. Maybe I would down the road, but I did finally, towards the end of this winter, reach a point where they were taking on moisture, and I came inside, and the toe was wet and the heel was wet. So I think I'm probably going to subject these boots to a similar treatment that I did my Truman black oil tan rough out boots, which was to just throw a ton of mink oil on them, or I might get some Oberhaus. I've heard really good things about that. My son certainly likes that product. I have not bought it yet, but I'm sure that I can fit that in my budget, so I might try that as well. So those are the 3 sample winter boots I have. If you have other ones that you would recommend, I'm sure everybody would appreciate hearing your take on, what works for winter. Of course, everyone is, working in different conditions. Some people need a dressier boot in the winter. Some people are working outdoors and they have to go with something that's more robust, like a genuine work boot. But let's look at the summer boots, just talking about heritage boots here. I certainly get along fine with heritage boots. I don't work construction, obviously. I construct sentences in German and on occasion Braille. So that doesn't require a whole lot out of my boots in specific terms. So heritage boots work great for me. And these are the Parkhurst boots that I have. Again, you can tell they've taken a bit of a beating, but I'm going to put this in the summer boot category. They do have a nice raised lip on here. I don't have a problem. So for example, if it's rainy, I wouldn't hesitate to wear these. These are a waxy rough out leather. You could probably tell that, you can see the rough out quality. You can also see there's a bit of shine to them and some, smooth. I haven't worn these as much as some boots, but I've gotten a fair amount of use out of them. You can see here on these great day-night soles that they've taken a bit of abuse over the years. I would probably wear these more on cement. The day-night sole works great for that. It's just perfect for cement, walking on the bike trail, walking the dogs. We have some really good bike trails around town here. So these are perfect for that. They're perfect for wearing on campus. I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of gardening work in these boots, but for summer they're pretty comfortable because guess what? They're not lined. Let's see if I can get a close-up in there for you. Sorry about the lighting. Sometimes my camera compensates a little bit, but sometimes it doesn't. There we go. There we go. So yeah, no lining apart from around the top here. But that means that these boots are kind of breathable, especially with regard to, when you get past the top around the ankle. And they are the structured toe, so they're not totally breathable. And from that standpoint, if it was really warm, I might go for something a little bit different. But these are a good summer boot. And I've made a video about this. Those of you who've watched it, I have no compunction about wearing boots with shorts. I think about the Germans and the Swiss mountaineers. They wear their Lederhose, which is basically leather shorts with tall wool socks and hiking boots. And nobody asked them what they're doing. So that's sort of my model for my look in the summer. I have no problem wearing boots with shorts. This is a very great pair for summer wear. These are a 1,000-mile classic model. And one thing that makes these wonderful in the summer is the leather sole, because it's more breathable. So these boots, again, it's unlined leather. You see, there we go. This is a rough out, so it's very useful in mud and wet. And, you know, they definitely take the dirt. So if I get these boots dirty, they just look more like those Norman Rockwell painting kind of boots that I think are sort of cool and make me feel very nostalgic about my ancestors and my grandparents who raised their families in the 30s and 40s, you know. So it's kind of a cool throwback. I really enjoy that. This is a waxy rough out leather, and it's really useful for gardening. I've even used boots like this to dig with a shovel. I've had zero problems using my leather-soled boots to kick down on a spade and dig up a vegetable garden. It's really easy to clean off. You know, it's really easy to get mud on here, and I just wipe it on the mat outside the back door, and then maybe on a diaper or a towel when I get inside, and then I can wear them around the house. I had both my hips replaced, so, you know, getting up and down to tag off my boots on and off, it's a chore, so I'd rather not have to do that. So I find boots like this that are unlined, that are all leather sole, really comfortable in the summer because they're so breathable, and they can take, you know, with that particular leather, they can take the mud, they can take the wet, and a lot of times they have to do that. So let's look at my last choice for today for summer boots. These are the Red Wing Blacksmiths, and again, we'll look inside here briefly. No lining. See if I can make the light play. There we go. You can probably see how much I have sweat in these boots, and the sweat can actually work its way all the way through. I do wear wool socks, which tend to wick sweat away. You can just tell from the tongue alone how much wear and tear this leather has gotten. And obviously, as you can imagine, it's comfortable almost to a fault. You know, look at the toe. And these have been recently conditioned, at least conditioned since I put them through the wringer and then let them kind of sit over the winter. I have not put these on once in the winter. And I'll tell you why. It's because of this sole. These Vibram mini lug soles get as hard as rock in the winter, and then there's no grip anymore. So they're frankly uncomfortable. I really prefer the soles on my Allen Edmonds for the winter because they give me some shock absorption. Now I don't have that problem in the summer. Even now, just in the house, the sole is flexible again. So wearing these in the winter, it's just not, it doesn't work out. But in the summer, no problem. I get, as you can tell, ton of use. I can also use these to mow the lawn. These give me, you can see some green on there too. These give me just enough traction because we have ditches and I mow with a push mower. I don't know, I probably walked 10,000 steps when I pushed that thing around the yard because we have a pretty big yard. But these give me enough traction to where I can mow the ditches and I have little or no problem. So it's sort of for the summer, this sole is a nice happy medium between giant lugs that really take on huge, you know, rocks and stuff like that, and leather sole that won't have any traction at all in wet grass. These have enough traction in wet grass to where I can use these to garden, mow the lawn, do all kinds of things, tool around the garage, do woodworking or whatever. So, and this, whatever toe structure they have in there, I think there's kind of some canvas lining on the inside. I ought to take a flashlight, take a mirror to it. But it's still breathable, and whatever structure it has is just close to the toe. So I find the entire boot really breathable and extremely comfortable, and the sole works for me. So that's kind of what I have for those of you who were interested in what kind of boots, heritage boots, I would wear in the summer versus in the winter. And there are obviously other options, and, you know, on any given day, I'll probably pick based on, you know, the color or just whatever ones I want to keep breaking in or whatever. But these, as you can tell from how much use they've gotten, are go-tos for either season. So I hope this video was informative. I appreciate your comments and your watching, and love being able to share my joy that I take in heritage boots with like-minded people who have the same appreciation for all the history, the comfort, and the style that goes into this classic footwear. So y'all have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we'll talk soon. Ciao!